The solemn hush of Westminster Cathedral carried a royal first. On the morning of September 16, 2025, King Charles III arrived through the cathedral's west doors. The occasion was historic, not only in grief, but in symbolism. The monarch was there to attend a Roman Catholic Requiem Mass. That alone marked a profound moment, but the absence of one figure was just as striking. Queen Camilla did not attend. Official statements were swift and simple. The Queen was suffering from acute sinusitis and deeply regretted missing the funeral. No further details were offered. And yet the silence following her absence has grown louder than the ceremony itself. Katharine, Duchess of Kent, died earlier this month at the age of 92. A quiet figure in the modern royal landscape, she had long stepped away from public duties, choosing a life of modesty and purpose. She taught music in state schools, supported children's charities, and did so under the name Mrs. Kent. Many in Britain barely knew her, but to those inside the palace, she represented something rare: dignity without spectacle. It was this woman whom the royal family came together to honor. King Charles led the mourners. Princess Anne was seen entering quietly with Lady Sarah Chatto. Prince Edward was there, as were lesser-known members of the extended royal family. The cathedral, Roman Catholic, sacred, and filled with music, echoed with tributes to a duchess who had once defied convention by converting to Catholicism. But Camilla was not among them. Her absence did not go unnoticed. For those watching closely, the Queen Consort's failure to appear at a historic and deeply symbolic event raised questions that no one has yet answered. Why did Queen Camilla miss a funeral attended by nearly every senior royal? And why has the palace, so often measured in its messaging, offered no further clarity? The official line, acute sinusitis, is plausible. It's not uncommon. But the Queen had not been seen publicly for several days prior, and her next appearance wasn't scheduled until the following week. This, in itself, may be enough to quiet speculation. But context matters. The royal family is meticulous in balancing appearances with diplomacy. Attendance at funerals, especially among royalty, is not just personal, it is political. Camilla's presence would have marked respect, continuity, and stability. Her absence inevitably becomes a vacuum into which meaning is projected. This is not the first time Queen Camilla's role has drawn scrutiny during moments of solemn royal protocol. Since ascending to her role as Queen Consort in 2022, Camilla has attended nearly every major ceremonial event. Her presence at King Charles's coronation in 2023 was central. Her appearances at Trooping the Color, state visits, and public commemorations have followed with dutiful regularity. Yet when it came to honoring a member of the royal family, one whose life had spanned the reigns of 3 monarchs, she stayed away. That Katharine's funeral was a Catholic mass makes it all the more significant. The British monarchy has had a long and fraught relationship with Catholicism. Since the 17th century, royals who married Catholics were excluded from the line of succession. It wasn't until 2015 that the law changed to allow a royal to marry a Catholic without forfeiting their claim. Katharine's own conversion in 1994 was a quiet but powerful departure from royal precedent. At the time, she was the first senior royal in modern history to make such a move, and she did so with the Queen's private support. King Charles's decision to attend her Catholic funeral continues that evolution. His presence was more than familial, it was diplomatic, bridging centuries of religious tension. In a monarchy where symbols matter more than speeches, his attendance spoke volumes. Which is why Queen Camilla's absence says just as much. Some royal watchers have speculated without evidence that illness was not the only reason. Was there a scheduling conflict, a quiet disagreement behind closed doors, or simply a decision made out of caution, given the Queen's known sinus issues during the change of seasons? There is no confirmation, and there may never be. But in a family where visibility is part of duty, absence becomes its own kind of message. It also feeds into a growing narrative of unease. In recent months, Queen Camilla has faced increasing scrutiny, from public friction with Prince Harry and Meghan to quiet tensions surrounding her influence at court. Her every move is watched, interpreted, sometimes unfairly, sometimes not. And yet she remains one of the monarchy's most seasoned figures. Her path to the throne was steep, her reputation hard-won. To miss a funeral may be entirely innocent, but in royal life, innocence is often a luxury perception does not allow. Meanwhile, the funeral itself unfolded with grace and precision. The Archbishop of Westminster led the service. Tributes spoke of Katharine's love of music, her decades of charitable service, and her decision to quietly retire from public life, long before such exits became fashionable. The choir sang hymns she had once selected for her own private chapels. In a deeply symbolic moment, a single white rose was placed on her casket, echoing her favorite flower and a quiet nod to her Yorkshire roots. After the Mass, she was laid to rest at the Royal Burial Ground at Frogmore, near Windsor, among other royals whose lives shaped the House of Windsor across generations. The public, too, responded. Flags across royal residences were lowered to half-mast. Social media tributes poured in from music charities, former students, and royal fans who remembered her quiet grace. A hashtag briefly trended, #FarewellDuchess. But no official royal channel shared images of the funeral itself. No photographs were released of the king inside the cathedral. Only the palace's statement, short, formal, and respectful, remained on the record. Perhaps that's how the Duchess of Kent would have wanted it. She never sought the limelight. She avoided interviews. She chose to walk away from the stage of royal life, not in disgrace, but in dignity. In doing so, she became a rare kind of royal, beloved quietly, missed deeply, and remembered for what she gave rather than what she gained. As the royal family adjusts to her absence, the question lingers. Was Queen Camilla's absence a matter of health or something else? In truth, only those inside the palace know for sure. But outside its gates, a quiet debate continues about duty, about symbolism, and about the crown's enduring struggle to balance the private with the public, the ceremonial with the human. In a monarchy defined by tradition, it is the exceptions, the absences, that reveal the most. What do you think? Was Camilla's absence simply bad timing, or a message we're not meant to see? If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden world of the crown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here on Crown Verse, where crown history lives on.